for all. After a 17-point home win over Long Beach State a few nights ago, they are 3-5 in a 7th-place tie with UC Davis in the Big West standings. The preseason pick to finish 9th in the Big West Conference under first-year head coach John Smith. They'll roll with the same starting 5 that he has been of late. The Smiths in the backcourt, Keith and Jamal. Junior Ballard, the team's leading scorer, averaging more than 15 points per game through 8 Big West games, gets another start for Cal Poly. And the 2 forwards for John Smith, Mark Crow, the 4th-year junior from Dallas, Texas, and Tuukka Jakala, the sophomore forward from Finland. The Mustangs in their wedding cake white home uniforms with the forest green and Vegas gold trim. Hawaii in the road black uniforms with the forest green and white trim. Tonight, the 18th all-time meeting between Hawaii and Cal Poly. The Rainbow Warriors hold a slight all-time edge of 9-8, but Cal Poly has won the last 2 meetings here inside the Mott Athletic Center. And as we mentioned, sitting at 6-3 at home this season, 3-1 in the Big West. Tuukka Jakala, Dawson Carper in the center circle. The ball is up. The game is on, and the opening tap ricochets to Drew Buggs, and Hawaii will have the game's first possession operating left to right in the opening 20 minutes. Here's Eddie Stansberry on the right wing as Hawaii works the ball around the arc. Now it's Webster on the left side. He hands off to Buggs, who cuts inside the arc. Hands off to Stansberry, who dribbles inside the foul line. Gets tied up with Keith Smith, but the officials will whistle Stansberry, the senior, for a travel. And Hawaii, 19 seconds in, turns over the basketball. Coming off their second Big West loss, 76-66, a couple of nights ago, inside the Thunderdome against UC Santa Barbara. Here's Jamal Smith out on the right wing. He skips it low right to Tuukka Jakala, and a foul away from the basketball will go against Mark Crow of Cal Poly. So both teams trading turnovers in the first 30 seconds of this game. And Cal Poly will show some light full court pressures. The inbound comes to the junior point guard Drew Buggs, with a chance to make a little bit of history tonight. We'll dive into that later. Dawson Carper, low post left side, backing down his defender, and Tuukka Jakala, his turnaround right-hand hook, rolls in, and Hawaii draws first blood. 19:15 left to play in the opening half. 2-0 Rainbow Warriors. Here's Junior Ballard on the left side, a right-hand push pass up top. Jamal Smith has it straight away. He takes a right-hand dribble down the lane to the rim with the right hand, draws contact, and fouled by the 7-footer Dawson Carper. And the head coach, John Smith, his son, the grad transfer from Cal State Fullerton, will shoot a couple of free throws, 59 seconds in. Hawaii with 3 7-footers on this roster. One of 10 teams in Division I basketball to have that this year, as Smith makes good on the first of 2. A 60% free throw shooter, had 11 points last time out in the victory here over Long Beach State on Wednesday night. Second free throw en route, and that bounces in. And we've got 2s on the board, 60 seconds off the clock in the opening half. Drew Buggs sporting a white headband, picked up by Keith Smith, also sporting a white headband as he crosses the midcourt stripe. He veers right. Smith is airborne as the pass goes left elbow to Raimo. Now they'll get it in low left to Carper, who flips up the shot with the right hand, and he's fouled. It's off the back of the rim, no good. And it's Tuukka Jakala handed the citation. That's the second team foul against Cal Poly here in the early going. And it sends Carper, a 37% free throw shooter, to the stripe to shoot 2. Hawaii 69% at the free throw stripe this season, 11 of 15 the other night. And Carper rips the cords on the first free throw. In the first meeting, Hawaii really took advantage at the foul line when 18 of 24. Carper goes 2 of 2, and the Bows lead by 2 again, 4-2. Keith Smith accelerates up the right side of the floor for Cal Poly. He hands off to Junior Ballard, who centers it to Jamal Smith. Watched by Webster, the true freshman out of Texas. He veers to his left, finds Crow. Left corner 3 in the air. That's good. Cal Poly with their first lead of 5-4 over Hawaii, 90 seconds in. Drew Buggs and Keith Smith crossing blades as he brings it through the midcourt logo and hands off to Raimo. Now Stansberry just inside the arc, a long 2 from straight on is good. Eddie Stansberry, Hawaii's leading scorer, 16.6 points per game this season. Doesn't attempt many shots inside the arc. More than 60% of his field goal attempts have come from deep, but he connects on a long 2 there, and it's 6-5 Rainbow Warriors. And now foul away from the basketball. Well, hold on, what's going on here? A foul on Stansberry, I do believe. as the officials try and sort this out. By the way, Bill Venovich, Glenn Mayberry, and Jimmy Casas, the three-man officiating crew, assigned by the Big West to dispense justice inside the Mott Athletic Center tonight. 18:01 left to play. Opening half of basketball, an early 6-5 lead for Hawaii on the road. Looking for their first win here in 3 seasons. Keith Smith bouncing the basketball up top, hands off to his cousin Jamal just inside the center court logo. He takes a left-hand dribble inside the foul line to the rim with the right hand, and he floats it in. Jamal Smith with 4 of the first 7, and the Mustangs regain the lead. It's 7-6 Cal Poly. 17:40 left to play in the opening half. Drew Buggs, the junior out of Long Beach down south, down the right side of the lane, fouled on the floor. And that will go against Keith Smith, the 4th-year junior from Danville. That'll be the 3rd foul against Cal Poly, with 17:34 left to play before halftime. The shot clock at 21 seconds, and Buggs will trigger in from the right baseline. He gets it short corner right side to Carper, who boomerangs the ball back to Buggs. He takes a right-hand dribble down the right baseline, finds Raimo on the left block, across the lane to Carper, who scores off the window with the right hand. And Dawson Carper has 6 of the first 8 for the Bows, who regain a 1-point lead. Keith Smith on the left side, hands off to Junior Ballard, who veers to his right and hands off to Jamal Smith. He angles to his left, stops on the left elbow, terminates his dribble, and plays it to the left side for Keith Smith. Now Mark Crow on the right wing with 15 to shoot. He hands off to Ballard, a crossover dribble. He hands back off to Crow, up top to Yakala. The shot clock dives into single figures. Here's Jamal Smith down the lane again. He feeds Tuka to the cup with 2, and he powers it down. Tuka had 16 in 23 minutes against Long Beach State. The assist to Jamal Smith. And again, a lead change here in the early going. It's 9-8 Cal Poly. Drew Buggs up the right side, watched by Keith Smith. He hands off to Stansberry, who drifts to his left and gets it to Raimo on the right elbow. Picked up by Mark Crow. He holds at letter level. Still hasn't put it on the deck. Tries to find Stansberry cutting down the back door. Instead, he throws it away. Ballard the steal, and he throws it right back to Webster. Here he comes from the line to the lane. Finds Stansberry. Right wing 3 off the right side of the rim. And a two-handed leaping rebound vacuumed in by Keith Smith, who will run the show right to left for the Mustangs. He stops beyond the foul line. Jumper en route. In and out. And Carper with the flat-footed rebound for Hawaii. 9-8 Cal Poly, almost 4 minutes off the clock in the opening half. Buggs finds Raimo. Left elbow jumper en route off the back of the rim. And Jamal Smith grabs the rebound for Cal Poly. He brings it up the left side of the floor for the Mustangs. Dribbles inside the arc. Sends a wraparound pass to his cousin Keith out on the right side. He moves to his left around a high screen set by Crow. Now he pitches right corner for Crow, who centers it to Tuka Yakala with 15 to shoot. Now Jamal Smith out on the left wing, takes a right-hand dribble inside the arc, step back, left elbow jumper. Straight but strong off the back of the rim. And the rebound caroms to Drew Buggs, who will bring it through the center court logo for the Bows, who trail by 1. He veers to his left inside the arc, floater with the right hand, bounces in. And that will take us to a timeout on the floor because Jamal Smith had touched the basketball as it was about 3/4 of the way through the net to try and poke it back out. And I guess a rather wise thing for the coach's son to do, to give everybody a breather. 15:31 left to play. Opening half in San Luis Obispo. Hawaii by a point in the early going. This is Mustangs basketball from Learfield IMG College. 8 fouls between the two teams with less than 8 minutes off the clock. I tell you what, to be quite honest, some of these fouls could have gone uncalled, which makes me think that this officiating crew will be a little bit whistle happy throughout the night. We'll see what team benefits from that as Hemsley dips his knees, flicks his right wrist, and drains the first of 2 free throws. A redshirt sophomore out of Rancho Cucamonga down south had 9 points, 6 rebounds earlier this season in a game at UC Irvine. 13 points 2 nights ago and lived at the foul line, 6 of 7 in a 10-point loss to Santa Barbara. He goes 2 for 2 here, and the Hawaii lead is 5, 17-12. The Bows now as a team 4 of 6 at the foul stripe in this game. Junior Ballard on the left wing, centers it to Ollie Karoma. He gets it to the right side. Jamal Smith cuts down the right baseline, hesitates, now goes back inside and swings it out to Kyle Colvin with 13 to shoot. He takes a left-hand dribble down the lane. An up fake on the left block. He weaves around Hemsley to the rim with the right hand. He misses the shot, and a two-handed flat-footed rebound for Hemsley of Hawaii. Buggs sprints across the Forest Green time stripe around a high screen set by Holland. He stops on the left elbow, gets to Holland. He can shoot. His straight on 3 is short. Off the front of the rim, Jamal Smith skies for the two-handed rebound. He sprints up the left side of the floor. Gets a chest pass to the left corner for Ballard, who dribbles short corner left side and plays it back to Jamal Smith. Across the floor it comes to the Frosh Kobe Rogers, who centers it up top to Karoma with 15 to shoot. Now Jamal Smith on the left wing, lets it fly. His 3 is way off the mark. Misses everything. Out of bounds it goes. And a timeout coming. 11:56 left to play. Hawaii by 5 in the first half on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Eleven minutes, 56 seconds. We are opening half in San Luis Obispo. Hawaii 17, Cal Poly 12. Your local Orkin franchise would like to remind you that bugs are foul. Since 2012, they've been protecting customers in SLO and Santa Barbara counties from pests, ants, termites, rodents, or bed bugs. Doesn't matter. Orkin will use the latest products and technologies to protect your home or business. Call 805-748-0988 today. Orkin Pest Control, down to a science. The Bows 6 of 12 from the field in the early going. They have out-rebounded Cal Poly 9 to 5, and they're 4 of 6 at the foul line. Meanwhile, the Mustangs 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep, and 3 of 3 at the foul stripe. Hawaii basketball out of the timeout and a turnover. Entry pass off the fingertips of Zigmar Srimo, taken away by Malik Harwell, the grad transfer from Boise State. Job Alexander skips it low right. Ollie Karoma running left-hand hook. That's good. The Frosh has 5 off the bench for John Smith when he needs it the most. Tuka Yakala sidelined with 2 early fouls, and the Hawaii lead trimmed to 3, 17-14 Bows. Cal Poly into a 3-2 zone defense. Rimo at the foul line. Entry pass Holland left alone to the rim with the right hand, off the window and in. Owen Holland did not play in the first meeting. In fact, only made his season debut 3 weeks ago against Santa Barbara. Was battling an injury through non-conference play in the first few Big West games. And he's been a luxury to bring off the bench for Ron Ganot. Here's Kobe Rogers on the right side. Inside of 11 minutes left to play first half. Karoma straight away, sends it mid-post left side to Alexander. He takes a right-hand dribble, bounces to Ollie to the cup with 2, and he powers it down. Cal Poly with a couple of uncontested dunks getting to the rim as Alexander delivered the pocket pass right on the money, and it's 19-16. Karoma's got 7 points. Buggs down the left side of the lane, kicks it left corner. Hemsley cuts down the baseline. Out to Holland, his straight on 3 in the air, and that's good. Owen Holland, the 7-footer that could step out and shoot it. Missed his first attempt moments ago, but he makes good on his second. And Hullen now 5 of 11 from down there this season. Malik Harwell down the left side of the lane, bounces out to Karoma. He's feeling it, left wing 3, wide left. And Bugs grabs the rebound for Hawaii. The Bows up 6 with the basketball. He's on the right elbow. He backpedals out to the wing, watched by Jobe Alexander. Halfway through the opening 20 minutes. Bugs still bouncing the basketball, picks up his dribble inside the foul line, finds Hemsley cutting down the left baseline to the cup with 2, and he dunks it. Hawaii has gone up 8. This is their largest lead with 9:50 left to play in the first half. Keith Smith and Nolan Taylor will get back in the game. Now, Taylor hasn't checked in yet, but Keith started, so we'll see Nolan's first minutes, and Keith off the bench. An illegal screen set by Ollie Karoma as Malik Harwell on the right side tried to work around it. And that is now 6 team fouls against Cal Poly in this first half. Colvin and Alexander and Karoma to the bench. Mark Crow will also re-enter, so a couple starters back out there, and a guy we haven't seen yet, Nolan Taylor, checking in. Hawaii shooting 60% here. 9 of 15 from the field, 2 of 3 from deep en route to this 8-point lead. Remember, they built a 16-point lead in the second half on the island. Cal Poly trimmed it down to 1, but never got closer in a 4-point loss 23 days ago. Entry pass low right. Hemsley, one-on-one with Rogers, draws a bump, gets to the rim with the right hand, scores, plus the foul. They're just bullying Cal Poly in low right now, and the Pals are starting to pile up against the Mustangs. That's 7 now, sending Hawaii into the bonus with 9:22 left to play before halftime. And Hemsley, who's already 2 for 2 at the stripe, 76% coming in with a chance to balloon the lead now to 11. It's 26-16 with a free throw coming for the third-year sophomore. This free throw is good. And it's 27-16. Remember, no Tuka Yakala likely for the rest of this first half. The run for Hawaii is 8-0 over the last minute and 15 seconds. Keith Smith into the front court, skips it high post right side to Nolan Taylor. He holds at his belt buckle, bounces for Crow, nearly a bad pass. It deflects to Keith Smith at the center court logo. Now Malik Harwell on the left wing. Plays it back to Keith Smith with 15 to shoot. Up top, Nolan Taylor delivers a chest pass. Malik Harwell at the left elbow, finds Crow on the right wing. He hands off to Rogers with 5 to shoot. He moves to his left, gets it to Taylor. His contested left wing 3, in and out. And the rebound ricochets to Carper of Hawaii. That was Taylor's first attempted 3, and he had to let it go there with the time winding down on the shot clock. Certainly don't like the last few possessions for Cal Poly. Hawaii has scored the last 8. Carper out on the right wing. Waits for Webster and hands off to him. He's got it up top before he finds Stansberry, picked up by Harwell. Now up top, Hemsley and Smith collide. And who's the foul going to go against here? That'll go against Nolan Taylor away from the basketball. I tell you what, this has been a rather poorly officiated first half. There's way too many whistles when there just shouldn't be. And you have games like this in college basketball where the rhythm is disrupted and dictated by the officiating, and that's what it feels like in this game. 27-16, and Carper, who's 2 for 4 at the foul line, shooting the 1-and-1 and earns himself a second free throw. Well, Hawaii now 6 of 8 at the foul line in this first half. Carper's going to have one more coming out of the John Smith timeout. So he's taken 2. His team's down a dozen here, 28-16, with 8:29 left to play in the first half, and we'll take it with him. This is Mustangs basketball from Learfield IMG College. 8 minutes, 29 seconds. We are opening half in San Luis Obispo, and Hawaii has gone up a dozen with one more Dawson Carper free throw coming out of John Smith's second timeout that he's taken in this first half. The Bows, 10 of their first 16 from the floor, 2 of 3 from deep, and 6 of 8 at the foul line. Dawson Carper with a made free throw here would work into double figures for the second straight game. Had 11 points in 15 minutes against Santa Barbara last time out, and he rips the cords on the free throw. Hawaii goes up 13, and Carper's got 10. 8:29 left to play first half. And here comes Keith Smith into the front court for Cal Poly. He dishes left side to Malik Harwell. He veers to his right inside the arc, down the lane to the rim with the right hand, off the window and in. So that ends the scoring drought. Harwell's on the board, and it's 29-18. 8:05 first half. Webster on the right side, a wraparound pass up top to Raimo. Touch pass left wing. Hemsley spinning down the right side of the lane to the rim with the right hand and draws another whistle. Are you kidding me? It's the first on Malik Harwell, and Hemsley right back to the stripe to shoot two. John Smith, who's often been up out of his seat here. 9-3, the fouls in favor of Hawaii. And you can hear some of the Mustang fans a bit disgruntled, and you may hear John Smith in the background as well. So Hemsley will shoot 2 more free throws. He's a perfect 3 for 3 at the stripe tonight. Bends his knees, flicks his right wrist, and the ball doesn't lie. He misses the first there. Junior Ballard, who's scoreless tonight, comes back in, replacing Colby Rogers. John Smith, I don't know if I've ever seen him this unhappy with an officiating crew. One more coming here for Hemsley. He's a reasonable guy. He really is, and don't blame him one bit for his frustration right now. Hemsley makes good on the second and heads to the Hawaii bench. Eddie Stansbury back out there for the Bows, who are up a dozen, 30-18, with an even 8 minutes left to play in the first half. Keith Smith will run the show right to left for Cal Poly, watched by Drew Buggs up top. He dishes left side to Malik Harwell. He veers to his right and hands off to Keith Smith with 20 to shoot. Now to his left, Smith hands off to Junior Ballard at the top of the arc. He comes down the right side of the lane, flips up a floater with the right hand. It's off the back of the rim, gets his own miss, follows it up, the shot's good, and the foul. Ballard stayed with it, followed his shot, crashing the glass, and the Mustangs finally get a whistle. Dawson Carper the delinquent, and Ballard with a chance at a three-point play. Those are his first points of the night. And Ballard averaging more than 15 per game in the conference. The game at Hawaii was one of 2 games in conference play where he was held out of double figures. Only played 15 minutes on the island because he was in foul trouble, had 4 that game, and came a point shy of double figures. He finished with 9 as he knocks down the free throw, and the deficit is single figures again. A 9-point lead for Hawaii, 30-21. 7:35 left to play in the first half. Drew Buggs brings it through the center court logo, watched by Keith Smith. Next Cal Poly foul puts Hawaii in the double penalty for the rest of the first half. Raimo up top, moves to his right, hands off to Stansbury. Now up top to the 7-footer Holland, who's already knocked down a 3. Head-high pass, low left. Raimo has the ball knocked loose and taken away by Keith Smith. He takes a left-hand hip-high dribble into the front court, hands off to Mark Crow, who angles right. His bounce pass off the sneaker of Raimo, and the kick ball will keep it on this end with Cal Poly with 24 to shoot and 7:10 left to play in the first half. Cal Poly now 8 of 18 from the floor. They're 1 for 5 from deep. Hawaii 10 of 16 from the field. And they've connected on 8 of 11 free throw attempts. Keith Smith will trigger in from the right baseline. He finds Mark Crow out on the right wing. Picked up by Zigmar Sraimo. A handoff to Keith Smith. Now he dishes right wing. Malik Harwell, entry pass, low right. Ali Karoma gets around Holland to the rim with the left hand. He misses the shot, but Holland pokes it out of bounds. It'll stay with Cal Poly, and the shot clock gets reset to 20. Boy, you like the low post moves on the offensive end that we've seen early in this game from Ali Karoma. Just couldn't finish it there, but the 50-50 ball goes Cal Poly's way, and we'll see if they can take advantage of the second chance here. Keith Smith will trigger in from the right baseline. He gets it out to the right elbow for Mark Crow. A crossover dribble down the left side of the lane. Falling away. He misses the shot that goes behind the backboard, but he was fouled by Zigmar Srimo. Now the officials are starting to even things out with the whistles. Crow will shoot a couple of free throws, and these are just his 4th and 5th free throw attempts of the season. And this is game number 23 for Cal Poly. Crow is nothing for 3 at the foul stripe this year. His first on the way, and that's no good. Remember in the first meeting, it was the missed free throws that plagued Cal Poly. In a 4-point loss, they missed 11, went 9 of 20 on the island. That can't happen tonight. Crow's second free throw, and he got that one. 30-22, the Hawaii lead is 8, and Drew Buggs picked up by Keith Smith. He'll trot into the front court for the Rainbow Warriors, operating left to right as we see it here in the opening half. 6:45 left to play. Buggs out on the left elbow, backpedals out to the left corner, gets it up top to Zigmar Srimo. He veers to his left and hands off to Buggs. He takes a right-hand dribble inside the foul line, flips up a floater with the right hand. He misses. The rebound on the ground. It's picked up by Mate Cholina. His putback off the left side of the rim. A third opportunity. Rimo underneath throws it out of bounds. Well, the rebounding has to be better. Cal Poly fortunate there. And they'll get the basketball back. Malik Harwell heads to the bench. Jamal Smith is back in. Here's something to watch out for. Mate Cholina and Jamal Smith got tangled up in a play that resulted in a Cholina flagrant foul on the island. And there was a bit of a kerfuffle between the two teams where Jamal Smith was not happy and then booed for the rest of the night. We'll see if anything extracurricular happens with those two on the floor right now. Jamal Smith on the left wing, centers it to Keith Smith, 15 to shoot. Now Junior Ballard on the right side, waits for a high screen from Karoma. Dribbles, stops at the foul line. His jumper en route. It is no good. It hung on the front of the orange iron for a while, but decided to drop out. And Buggs takes a left-hand dribble up the left side of the floor for Hawaii. Down the left side of the lane, he backpedals out to the left corner. Gets it to Cholina, who hands off to Buggs. Watched by Jamal Smith. A bounce pass mid-post left side. Cholina, another one of those 7-footers. Across the lane, he finds Rimo on the right baseline. He backs down Mark Crow. Stops on the right block. Bounces out to Webster on the right wing with 5 to shoot. He veers to his left. A right elbow jumper en route. Off the left side of the rim. Ballard going for the rebound. Throws it off of Zigmar Srimo, who's on the floor, out of bounds. And a heads-up play made by Cal Poly's leading scorer. And the Mustangs have fought hard on the glass over the last few Hawaii possessions. And they'll get the basketball back, trailing by 8 with 5:37 left to play in the opening half. Hawaii now 10 of 19 from the field. So you figured that figure of 60+% was going to go down at some point, and for right now it has. Ollie Karoma up top. To his left, he hands off to Jamal Smith out on the right wing. They'll get it to Ballard just inside the peak of the three-point arc. He skips it into the low post. Karoma, fall-away shot with the right hand, falls to the floor. No whistle. Here comes Drew Buggs, left to right for the Bows. 5:15 first half. Head-high pass to Hemsley. Touch pass up top. Webster's three. Short, off the front of the rim. Ball's on the ground. Helmsley and Karoma get tied up in possession arrow. We'll give the ball back to Cal Poly, and Karoma and Rimo have some choice words for each other. And as we suspected, these two teams, dating back really to the last couple of meetings with guys like Sharif Jermay and Donovan Fields for Cal Poly, guys that are no longer with each of these programs that have graduated and moved on. It's felt like that intensity of what's seemingly become some sort of rivalry in the Big West. Although you wouldn't think Cal Poly and Hawaii would be much of a rivalry. It kind of has been with some of these guys that have been on the roster the last few years, and you can tell that that's trickled down to some of the newcomers on each side. It's 30-22 Hawaii. 5 minutes left to play in the first half. Keith Smith has it at the center court logo. Nolan Taylor high to set a screen. Smith dribbles into the paint, stops on the left elbow, and centers it to Junior Ballard, watched by Eddie Stansberry. He veers to his left and gets it to Jamal Smith. With 10 to shoot, Smith crossover dribble, working down the left side of the lane, knocks over Zigmar Srimo. Offensive foul. Tenth foul on Cal Poly this half. Hawaii has gone cold from the field, but Cal Poly, they have only been able to trim this deficit as large as 13 at one point, down to 8. And they've had opportunities to get closer, but haven't taken advantage. They're 8 of 21 from the floor, 38% in this first half. Drew Buggs into the front court, skips it, high post left side. Hemsley picked up by Mark Crow, gets it to Stansbury inside the foul line. He flashes the leather, centers it to Hemsley. Here he comes down the right side of the lane. He loses the ball. Mark Crow with the leather larceny for Cal Poly. Keith Smith from the line to the lane to the cup with the right hand. He misses the layup. Offensive rebound, Jamal Smith, and he's fouled in the putback attempt. Cal Poly had numbers, a 3-on-2 there, and Jamal Smith following his cousin Keith's miss. And he's 2 for 2 at the foul stripe. He'll shoot a couple more here with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play before halftime. He bends his knees, he flicks his right wrist, and the line drive free throw rips the cords. Dawson Carper, who's already got 10 points in this first half, will check back in for Hawaii. One more free throw for Jamal Smith, and that's good. 30-24. The Rainbow Warrior lead has been cut to 6. Drew Buggs up the right side of the floor, picked up by Keith Smith. He skips it to the right wing for Webster. Now up top, Raimo, not a threat from the perimeter. They get the ball back in the hands of Buggs at the center court logo. Carper high to set a screen. Buggs is trapped by 2 defenders near the midcourt stripe. He skips it to Webster at the center court logo. Right hand push pass to Hemsley in the right corner. He lets it fly. The 3 is off the left side of the rim, and the rebound out of bounds. Last touch by Mark Crow. Couldn't hold on to it, which nets Hawaii an extra possession. Well, Cal Poly, they trailed by as many as 13 in this opening half. The Hawaii lead is 6 with 3:54 left to play on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. California Fresh Market, your one-stop shop for all your basketball party needs. Choose from the largest craft beer selection on the Central Coast, or how about some game day appetizers from the famous Wing Bar. Pick up a fresh veggie tray from the produce department at California Fresh Market. Proud supporter of Cal Poly Athletics. Chris Sylvester on hand. Our producer engineer is Alex Klumper. Saturday night, Big West Hoops. Inside the Mott Athletic Center, Hawaii up 6, 30-24 over Cal Poly with 3:54 left to play before halftime. 20 to shoot for the Bows. Drew Buggs will trigger in from the left baseline and chucks a head-high pass into Raimo at the center court logo. Watched by Mark Crow. He moves to his right, down the lane, powers up the layup, and missed it. Off the left side of the rim, Jamal Smith clears away the rebound for Cal Poly. He'll bring it up the right side for the Mustangs. He hands off to his cousin Keith, who angles left, pulls up at the foul line. A jumper is off the right side of the rim. The ball batted around and out of bounds, last touched by Cal Poly. So Smith now 0 for 3 from the field after a 9.7 assist, 4 rebound performance 3 nights ago against the Beach. These guys are from the Beach, Hawaii, sitting at 5-2, second place in the Big West. Carper at the peak of the three-point arc with 15 to shoot, moves inside the arc, gets it left corner, a 3 in the air for Webster, and that's good. And it pushes the Hawaii lead back to 9. Third made triple in this opening half for the Bows. Here's Ballard at the peak of the three-point arc. He high steps down the right side of the lane, goes up with the right hand, loses the ball, out of bounds. Last touched by Hemsley. It'll stay with Cal Poly. Keith Smith will take his seat. Jobe Alexander will take his place. 3:01 left to play first half. Here's an interesting number for you to watch out for. Hawaii this year 11-1 when leading at halftime. 3-6 when they trail. Important for Cal Poly to get closer in these final 3 minutes. Mark Crow out on the right wing, centers it to Jobe Alexander, who skips it to the right wing for Jamal Smith. He bounces low right to Nolan Taylor. One-on-one with Dawson Carper. He backs his way in. Turnaround right-hand hook is in and out. Offensive rebound and the putback for Jamal Smith. Smith playing in amongst the trees. The 6'3" guard has been very aggressive on the glass. Had a few offensive rebounds that have been rather important for Cal Poly in this first half. And the Hawaii lead is 7. Hemsley on the left elbow, across the floor. Webster raises, right corner three, it's no good. Carper up for the offensive rebound, and gonna get a foul here against Nolan Taylor. Jimmy Casas all over Cal Poly tonight. And Carper's gonna shoot 2 more free throws. Is that the second on Taylor? Yes, it is. Cal Poly's got 3 healthy big men. 2 of them have 2 fouls in this first half, and here comes Ollie Karoma. Carper knocks down the first of 2 free throws. He's up to 11 points in this first half. Taylor takes his seat. And Karoma back in there. Karoma's played well off the bench for John Smith in this first half. 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting. 1 more free throw for Dawson Carper. It's good. Who is this guy? He did, in his defense, have 11 last time out against Santa Barbara, but something about when he sees Cal Poly on the other side, it seems like he gives it a little extra. And the Hawaii lead back to 9 with 2:20 left to play in the first half. Junior Ballard from straight away. Karoma high to set a screen. Ballard lets it fly, a right wing 3, that's good. Mr. Buck J scratches the Mustangs right where they itch. And it's a 6-point game, Hawaii 35, Cal Poly 29, 2:05 left to play in the first half. Bugs up the left side of the floor. Being confronted by Job Alexander. Mate Cholina high to set a screen. Bugs veering to his left, stops on the left baseline, finds Webster on the right wing. He pitches right corner. Hemsley back to Webster on the right wing. He flashes the leather, steps inside the arc. The right elbow jumper, no good. Offensive rebound for Raimo, but wave it off. He committed an offensive foul, and that should be the 7th against Hawaii, which will put Cal Poly in the bonus for the final 1:45 of this first half. And we'll see who's going to the foul line here. It'll be Malik Harwell. Nope, it'll be Junior Ballard. Harwell just entered the game. And Ballard, a 74% free throw shooter. 1 for 1 at the stripe tonight. These are important. Front end of the 1-and-1, and he earns himself a second. One more here for Ballard. Cal Poly has trimmed the Hawaii lead to 5 with 1:45 left to play before halftime, and his second free throw is no good. Off the right side of the rim, Raimo tears the rebound away for Hawaii. The Bows up 5. 1:35 first half. Bugs down the right side of the lane. Dribbles underneath the basket. Skips it left baseline for Cholina, who hands off to Bugs. He dribbles down the lane to the rim with the right hand, off the window and in. 37-30. Job Alexander sprints through the midcourt stripe. Finds Smith. Touch pass. Right corner. Harwell cutting down the baseline to the rim with the right hand. And he misses the shot. A lot of contact underneath there. And the ball in the floor. Cholina and Job Alexander get tied up. Possession arrow will give it back to the Bows.
Should be ours. Should be ours. Should be ours. Wait, it should be our ball. That last one with the foul down here. Should be ours.
1:15 left to play, first half. I think there's some confusion as to whose ball it should be. The officials have it right. It should be Hawaii ball. They won the opening tap. Cal Poly got the first jump ball of this first half, and possession arrow pointed to Hawaii there. Bugs up the right side for the Bows. Down the right side of the lane, back to the rim with the right hand, and fouled. Karoma, the delinquent, and now all 3 big men for Cal Poly have committed 2 fouls in this first half. Hawaii 10 of 13 at the free throw line. And Bugs 70% at the foul stripe. Will shoot 2. Drew Bugs, 1 assist tonight, which means he's 2 away from the all-timer in Hawaii program history as he drains the first of 2 free throws. A record currently held by Troy Bowie, 412 in his Rainbow Warrior career, and Bugs is 2 away from breaking it. Next assist, he'll tie. He gets another one after that tonight. It'll be a milestone night for the junior, who attended Long Beach Poly down south, and he goes 2 for 2 at the stripe to push the Hawaii lead back to 9. 1 minute left to play in this first half. Jobe Alexander at the center court logo. Gets it to Jamal Smith up top. Watched by Webster. He chucks a head-high pass to the right wing for Alexander. 50 seconds left in this half. Now Ballard up top, watched by Bugs. Puts the dribble in between his legs, sends a head-high pass to Harwell, who takes a right-hand dribble down the lane, pitches out to Ballard. 5 to shoot. He steps back from beyond the foul line and knocks down the jumper. Ballard's got 9 first-half points, and Hawaii letting the ball roll and letting the clock run. And they will have an opportunity for the final shot as the shot clock has gone dark. The Bows up a touchdown, and Bugs up the left side turns and calls timeout with 22.5 seconds left in this first half. That is the use it or lose it timeout for Eran Ganot, the fifth-year head coach. Mustang fans, check out Cracker Barrel, Old Country Store in Santa Maria, right off the 101 on Betaravia. You've never had comfort food and southern cooking on the Central Coast like you will at Cracker Barrel. Open at 6 a.m. daily. You don't have to beat the morning rush to try some of the best breakfast dishes because breakfast is served all day at Cracker Barrel. Coming up at halftime, a familiar face, a fun name, I'm sure, for Cal Poly fans. Donovan Fields, team's leading scorer from the past couple of seasons. He's in the house, up here watching Cal Poly play this week. Saw him beat Long Beach State on Wednesday evening, and looking forward to catching up with him at halftime, so make sure you stay with us. 22.5 seconds left to play in this opening half. And Hawaii is up 7. We know they'll lead at halftime. The question is by how much? And remember, 11-1 this year when they lead at the half. Bugs on the left side. High lob, high post right side for Hullen with 6 seconds left. He hands off to Bugs. He moves to his right, puts the dribble behind his back, step back 3 in the air. It's short, it misses everything. Ballard grabs the loose ball, puts up a heave from 3/4 court, and it goes up over the backboard. That's college basketball. They don't really care about their field goal percentage as much as they do in the NBA. That had a very small chance of even touching the rim there, but why not throw it up if you have the chance? 20 minutes gone by tonight in San Luis Obispo, and Hawaii up by 7 at the break, 39-32 over host Cal Poly. It's time for the Smith Volvo Halftime Sports Report with scores from around the XFL, the NBA, college basketball, and whatever else there is going on in the world of sports today with Alex Klepper. It is Hawaii by 7 at the break. This is Mustangs Halftime from Learfield IMG College. Well, we have reached the half inside the Mata Athletic Center on a Saturday night, and it's Hawaii 39, Cal Poly 32 at the break. Before we dive into the opening half statistics, pleased to be joined by a man that doesn't need much of an introduction. You kind of do it for yourself when you step inside this building. Donovan Fields, point guard on the team for the last 3 years, leading scorer each of the last couple of seasons, joining us here. And good to have you back here on the Central Coast. Certainly wish that we could have you suit up tonight, but what's it like being back inside Mata Athletic Center?
Man, it's a different experience, you know, just watching from the sidelines. Like I love basketball so much. I'm always going to have that extra play if I see guys competing at such a high level, but it's really good to watch the game from a different perspective.
Kind of tough for me to pinpoint the rivalry and where it kind of started between Hawaii and Cal Poly, but it was really between Sharif Dramé of Hawaii and you. That's kind of where the beef started, per se. And I know it wasn't anything too serious, but and I know you have respect for him and vice versa for you. But when did Hawaii and Cal Poly become one of the more intriguing games to watch in the Big West?
Man, from my first year, from the time me and Sharif Dramé stepped on the court together, like he's a big time competitor just like myself. So when you get two guys like that on the same court, I mean, stuff's gonna be said, you know, but like you said, me and him, we're really good friends. You know, I still talk to him to this day, but I mean, when we're on the court, it's like we're going right at each other every time, and I know I'm gonna get his best effort, and he knows I'm gonna give my best effort.
Donovan Fields, former Cal Poly Mustang guard, joining us here on the halftime report. It's 39-37 Hawaii at the break. We're watching a very entertaining halftime show.
Oh.
Fortunate nobody got hurt there.
Yeah.
Little archery here, and they missed the target, and it went to the baseline. Anyway, you look at this first half, and you look at some of the numbers, and you know, to avoid getting fined, I don't want you to comment too much on the officiating, but Hawaii shooting 44%, Cal Poly 37%. 12 of 15 at the foul line for the Bows, 8 of 10 for Cal Poly. They're winning the rebounding battle 20-15. Certainly doesn't help that all three of Cal Poly's healthy big guys had 2 fouls in that first half. But give me your analysis here, since you're watching from a different perspective now. How does Cal Poly come back in this game in the second half?
I definitely like their aggressiveness. I know they're attacking the rim.
It's a new day on the Central Coast, and we're here to help you get it started right.
We'll help you get going with the news from overnight so you're caught up on the big stories.
Breaking news and ones that'll brighten up your day.
And with the microclimate weather forecast, you'll know what to expect where you live and where you work.
So join us weekday mornings from 5 to 7.
And start your day the Daybreak way.
Showing off their silver leaves as we walk by. Soft kisses on a summer's day, laughing all our cares away.
With Honda sensing safety features to keep an eye on every turn and Apple CarPlay to help her find her way, families rely on Honda Civic. Right now, you can get a great deal on a new Civic, but it'll be gone in a flash.
A look at the Mechanics Bank Big West out-of-town scoreboard. Mechanics Bank, where relationships matter. Inside the Thunderdome, UC Santa Barbara leads visiting UC Irvine 35-24 at the break. Early second half in Northridge, it's CSUN 32, visiting UC Riverside 25. And with 5:20 left to play, first half inside Titan Gym, UC Davis in search of conference win number 4. It's the Aggies 36 and the Titans of Cal State Fullerton 24, nearing the half in Fullerton. Here it's 39-32, Hawaii at the break. We'll be back with the start of the second half in 30 seconds on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. All right, getting ready for the start of the second half in San Luis Obispo. Hawaii by 7 at the break. The Bows shot 44% from the field in the first half. Went 3 of 8 from the perimeter, 12 of 15 at the foul line. Cal Poly, meanwhile, 37% as a team through one half, 11 of 29 from the floor, 2 of 6 from distance, and 8 of 10 at the free throw line. Told you how important rebounding was. Hawaii won that battle 19-16 in the first 20 minutes. The fouls, Cal Poly committed 12 through one half. Hawaii committed 7. Yeah, and the Bows attempted 5 more free throws, had 4 more makes at the foul line than Cal Poly in that first half. The Mustangs will operate left to right as we see it in half number 2 and have the basketball first to open up the second half. Inbound comes to Keith Smith, who brings it through the center court logo and skips it to the left elbow for Mark Crow as the ball ripped out of his hands by Drew Buggs. Bad start to the second half. Here's Stansbury spinning down the left side of the lane, plays it back to Buggs, who passes across the lane to Carper, whose shot is rejected at the rim by Tuka Yakala. The loose ball caroms back out to Buggs, and the officials have to correct the shot clock because it was reset despite the ball never hitting the rim. Yakala had 5 blocks in the first meeting, but played sparingly in that first half. Only played 6.5 minutes. Was sidelined with the 2 fouls early. And foul trouble, a theme of the opening half, unfortunately for Cal Poly. And the officials will be set on the game clock, or rather the shot clock, at 21. So Webster next to a standing Aranganat plays it into Buggs, who boomerangs the ball back to Webster on the left wing. He's picked up by Jamal Smith. He skips it up top to Drew Buggs. He veers to his right, trapped by 2 defenders. Finds Raimo on the left elbow. Across the floor, Stansbury steps into a right wing 3 and then misses off the back of the rim. The ball batted around, and Jamal Smith tears away the defensive rebound inside for Cal Poly. Brings it up the left side of the floor. Dribbles down the lane. Stops on the left baseline. Finds Yakala cutting to the cup with the right hand. He couldn't finish, but he was fouled. And Tuka will shoot a couple of free throws here. 50 seconds into the second half. Yakala 2 points in the 6.5 minutes that he played in the first half. A 59% free throw shooter this season. His feet spread wide apart. He bends his knees, flicks his right wrist, and drains the first of 2. Cal Poly now much better this meeting than the first meeting. They've already matched their free throws made that they had 23 days ago on the island. Went 9 of 20 in that game. They're 9 of 11 tonight. So that, not a glaring issue as it was on the island. One more free throw for Tuka Yakala. He bends his knees, flicks his right wrist. The high arcing shot wiggles in. And it's a 5-point game, 39-34. Inbound comes to Buggs, who's picked up by Keith Smith. They cross blades as he brings it through the center court logo and dishes left side to Webster, watched by Jamal Smith with 20 to shoot. He holds the ball high above his head, gets it to Raimo. He hands off to Buggs, the ball deflected. Buggs recovers. He comes down the right baseline, wraparound pass, left wing to Webster. He's got it with 10 to shoot. A right hand hip high dribble down the lane and fouled on the floor. And there you heard the Cal Poly bench erupt for a travel. Certainly looked like Hemsley took an extra step, and Cal Poly, the coaching staff here, they have not been shy in expressing their displeasure to this officiating crew. Buggs will inbound from the right baseline with 20 to shoot. The first foul against Cal Poly this second half. Short corner right side. Raimo hands off to Bugs. He's walled off by two defenders in the right corner. Gets it to Raimo, who sends a head-high pass left corner. Hemsley raises a contested high-arcing three. Is off the left side of the rim. Bugs skies in for the offensive rebound. Scoops it over to Hemsley across the floor. Stansbury's right corner three is good. 42-34. Hawaii goes up 8, and that's Stansbury's first made three. Don't want to let him get going. Low right, here's Yakala working on Raimo. Is back to the basket. He dribbles into the paint. Dishes, left corner. Keith Smith raises, hits three. That's good. Cal Poly a quick response from distance. Keith Smith is on the board. His first points of the night, and it's a 5-point game again, 42-37. Bugs strolls into the front court for Hawaii, watched by Keith Smith. 2 minutes gone by, second half. Here's Stansbury. In the left corner, he veers right, pulls up, left elbow jumper, in and out. Ball batted around, and Keith Smith grabs the rebound. He motors up the left side, finds his cousin Jamal in the left corner. In low left to Yakala, who bobbles the basketball, gathers himself, backing down Raimo. Turnaround right-hand hook is off the back of the rim, and Hemsley has the defensive rebound for Hawaii. Outlet pass up the right side. Webster down the right side of the lane to the rim with the right hand. He scores off the glass. 44-37. Here comes Keith Smith back the other way for Cal Poly. Into the front court. He dribbles down the left side of the lane to the rim with the left hand. High off the window and in. Keith Smith has scored 5 in a row for Cal Poly, and it's 44-39. Almost 3 minutes gone by in the second half. Stansbury out on the right wing. Penetrates inside, stops on the right block. Kicks it out, it's taken away. Keith Smith the steal. He's one-on-one with Bugs. He's got his cousin Jamal cutting to the rim. The ball falls to the floor. He and Webster get tied up, and possession arrow points the way of Hawaii. Now, Cal Poly had some opportunities here when they've gotten out and ran, but Hawaii has done a nice job of making them uncomfortable in those transition opportunities. And while Cal Poly gets the arrow back, Hawaii gets the basketball back, and they're up 5. Inside of 17 minutes here in the second half. Stansbury across the midcourt stripe. He hands off to Bugs. He moves to his left, bobbles the basketball, terminates his dribble, and skips it up top to Zigmar Raimo. He finds Bugs down the left side of the lane to the rim with the right hand, and he scores off the backboard. Hawaii up a touchdown, 46-39. Keith Smith motors into the front court, dribbles inside the foul line, kicks it to Crow. Left elbow three is no good. Offensive rebound, Yakala. Swings it out to Jamal Smith. He flashes the leather, steps back from the right elbow. His jumper is good. 46-41, and Jamal Smith, the first Mustang into double figures. He's got 10 points. 46-41. I tell you what, the outset of this second half, the tempo has favored Cal Poly, but they've only gotten a couple of points closer. Drew Bugs inside the midcourt stripe, tosses left corner. Webster raises his three off the right side of the rim. A long rebound out to Jamal Smith. He'll run the show left to right. Find Ballard, catch and shoot. Left wing three was partially deflected, I believe, by Stansbury. The loose ball grabbed underneath by Webster. He'll bring it across the midcourt stripe. The Frosh dishes right side to Bugs. A head-high pass to the left baseline for Raimo. He spoon feeds Hemsley, who dishes out up top to Webster. Now to the center court logo for Bugs, who slows things down. He puts the dribble behind his back, moves to his right, now in between his legs, inside the arc, down the right side of the lane. He stops on the right baseline, chucks a head-high pass to Webster up top. He spins around Jamal Smith with 5 to shoot. He gets to the rim with the right hand, knocks over Tuka Yakala, who is whistled for the blocking foul. Well, it wasn't an offensive foul. A mixed reaction here from the crowd. Jimmy Casas is having a tough night, and we'll tell you about the ruling when we return. Hawaii by 5, 15:35 left to play. Second half on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. All right, so we got an explanation. The officials went over to the video monitor to see if Tuka Yakala's feet were outside the restricted area, and the call on the floor favors Cal Poly. It's an offensive foul against Justin Webster of Hawaii. It's the second on the Bows this half, and for Webster, his second. And the Mustangs trail by 5 with the basketball. 15:35 left to play, second half. Colby Rogers, Malik Harwell get some outside shooting in there for John Smith. Trailed by as many as 13 in the first half, but a made field goal here would bring the Hawaii lead down to a possession. Jamal Smith at the controls as he crosses the midcourt stripe. Yakala high to set a screen. Smith moves around it, right elbow jumper's good. 3-point game, 46-43. Jamal Smith having himself a night. He's up to a dozen to lead Cal Poly. Bugs to his right. Gets it to Raimo on the right wing. A pocket pass to Bugs, cutting underneath. Wraparound pass left corner. Stansberry's three off the left side of the rim. Raimo skies in to grab the offensive rebound on the right block. He finds Stansberry cutting to the rim. He loses the ball. Raimo gets it back and score. No, it's in and out. And the loose ball finally grabbed on the right baseline by Ballard. Jamal Smith, arcing pass up the right side. Harwell flashes the leather, spins down the right baseline, and he's fouled. As he gets to the rim, the officials say the foul was on the floor. And that's on Zigmar Raimo. Wow, what a crazy sequence there. It's still something to be concerned about. Hawaii's second and third opportunities at times tonight. It looked like for sure Raimo's putback was going to fall. He put it off the perfect part of the backboard, off the center of the backboard, and it just crept off just about every angle of the orange iron. Here's Harwell up top. He gets it, right corner, Rogers three. That's good, tie game. Colby Rogers is on the board. Remember, he had 15 second half points on the island. And the Mustangs, who trailed by 13 in the first half, have pulled even. Drew Bugs up the left side, dribbles down the lane, gets to the rim with the right hand and lays it in. Hawaii regains the lead, 48-46. Jamal Smith up the right side. Rogers left hand dribble to the right elbow and fouled on the floor by Webster. Don't let Colby Rogers get going if you are Hawaii. You saw it happen 23 days ago on the island. And the second on Cal Poly with 13:40 left to play in the second half. 48's on the board. And Kyle Colvin will see his first minutes of the second half, taking the place of Tuka Yakala. Justin Hemsley triggers, and this is the game for Jamal Smith, or a matchup rather for Jamal Smith, a guy that plays physically, plays aggressively. Hawaii, they're here for it. Hemsley out on the right elbow, centers it to Webster. He slips and falls, somehow keeps his dribble and gets it to the left wing for Bugs. Entry pass, low left, Hullen across the lane. Hemsley to the cup, rejected by Junior Ballard, who skied in from behind and swatted the ball out of bounds. It'll leave 9 on the shot clock for Hawaii. A vicious block from Ballard, the sophomore. And it'll be Drew Bugs to trigger in from the left baseline. Bugs, we're on that assist watch, has 1 tonight, 2 away from the all-time record. He spots up, left corner triple, wide right. Colby Rogers vacuums in the defensive rebound and sprints up the left side for Cal Poly. One-on-one with Webster. He takes it to the cup, loses the ball, gathers it back at the foul line. Harwell flashes the leather out on the right wing and centers it to Jamal Smith, who resets the half-court offense with 15 to shoot. We're tied inside of 13 minutes here in the second half. Smith moves inside the arc, hands off to Rogers. He steps inside the arc and plays it out to Ballard with 5 to shoot. Picked up by Stansbury, puts the dribble in between his legs, veering to his left, gets around Eddie, a contested 3 off the right side of the rim, and Bugs in to grab the rebound on the right block for Hawaii. He'll motor across the center court logo, bring it down the lane, dish out to Webster, up top to Holland. He hesitates, and the officials catch him traveling. Bill Venovich, who was in Miami this time last week, getting ready to be the head official in the Super Bowl, was a bit late on that. John Smith was dancing around in front of the Mustang bench, very animated. He needed to make that call, and he did. And Hawaii has now turned it over 9 times tonight. Here's Malik Harwell on the left side. He moves to his right, picked up by Hemsley. Hands off to Colvin, who spoon feeds Ballard. Down the left baseline, he fades, he fires, and fills it up. Cal Poly with their first second half lead, 50-48. Ballard into double figures. He's got 11. Bugs across the midcourt stripe, and Eran Ganat wants to talk things over. Cal Poly ignites the home faithful here inside the Mott Athletic Center, and they take a lead over Hawaii. They trailed by 13 in the first half. They're up 2 with 12:08 left to play in the game on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Cal Poly, who trailed by 16 on the island when these two teams met 23 days ago, got it down to 1 in the second half before eventually losing by 4. They trailed by 13 in the first half tonight, and here they are up 2 with 12:08 left to play in the game, 50-48. And out of the Eran Ganat timeout, Webster triggers in right in front of the Hawaii bench. He gets it up top to Bugs, high post left side. Zigmar Srimo been rather quiet tonight, takes a dribble, hands off to Webster with 15 to shoot. Now to the right wing for Hemsley. Hands off to Eddie Stansbury. Picked up by Ballard. He flashes the leather. Takes a dribble. Centers it to Bugs as the shot clock hits single figures. Jobe Alexander confronts him. Stansbury trapped by 2 defenders. He walked. The officials miss it. Stansbury flips up a shot at the horn, and it's a shot clock violation. So he certainly dragged around the pivot foot right in front of Jimmy Casas. And we'll hope he get it right. I hope he gets it right in the final 11 minutes and 42 seconds. It's been a long time since Cal Poly has played this well consecutively at home. 3 straight home wins, and you can feel the energy in here. 11:42 left to play. Mustangs up 2. Timeout on the floor. This is Cal Poly basketball on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Cal Poly with the basketball out of the timeout. Inside of 12 minutes here. Second half, and the Mustangs lead Hawaii by 2. Junior Ballard up top. Colvin high to set a screen. Ballard veering to his left, finds Colvin. He holds at his belt buckle and gets it to Rogers. He moved down the right baseline. His jumper off the front of the rim, and it ricochets out to Webster. He brings it into the front court and loses the ball. Poked away by Alexander. Taken away by Rogers. Arcing pass. Ballard, right wing three. That's good. Ballard has 14. Cal Poly goes up 5. 53-48. Here's Hemsley on the left wing, watched by Malik Harwell. To the peak of the three-point arc for Zigmar Srimo. He holds the ball high above his head, now lowers it to his belt buckle, and it's Ballard who's whistled for a foul away from the basketball. That's his second, and the third on the team with 10:54 left to play in the game. Ballard 5 of 11 from the field, his second made triple tonight. And the leap that he's taken here, you wonder if he didn't miss the final 14 games of last season, if he could have started the season like this. Better late than never, though. He is playing at a very high level right now. And by high level, I mean if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be a first-team all-conference guard in this league. Bugs gets it into Rimo up top, harassed by Malik Harwell. He veers to his right, works inside the arc, hands off to Stansberry, fadeaway three, in and out. And Harwell grabs the defensive rebound inside. Outlet pass up the right side of the floor to Junior Ballard. He terminates his dribble and centers it to Harwell. A right-hand dribble. He spins inside the foul line. Across the lane, Yakala has the ball knocked away by Rimo. Late whistle and a foul. And Tuca's going to the stripe to shoot 2. And it's Rimo whistled here for his 4th foul of the night, and he's scoreless. Rimo had a double-double in the first meeting. He had 11 points and 14 rebounds. And Cal Poly has not let him do much on either end tonight. And Tuca here with the Mustangs up 5 and 10:34 left to play. Knocks down the first of 2 free throws. Ballard takes his seat. Jamal Smith takes his place. Smith and Ballard in double figures for Cal Poly in the scoring column. Ballard's got 14, Smith with a dozen. One more free throw for Yakala. High arcing shot is good. And Cal Poly goes up 7. 55-48. Still lots of time left as Webster brings it across the midcourt stripe. We're playing Drew Buggs off the ball right now, and perhaps that's Hawaii's best option to try and score. He leads them with 13 points. Hemsley on the right elbow, across the floor to Carper on the left wing. He hands off to Buggs, his 3 in the air. Off the front of the rim, the ball batted around, out of bounds. Last touched by Hawaii. Hemsley and Harwell collided underneath, and Hemsley touched it last. And I tell you what, Hawaii, who usually never plays well away from the island here on the mainland, you can sense their fatigue right now. Cal Poly had an extra day as well. They played on Wednesday. Hawaii played on Thursday. There's Rogers at the peak of the three-point arc. Now inside the arc, his left elbow jumper, that's good. They go up 9, 57-48. Inside of 10 minutes. Colby Rogers with 5, all here in the second half. Buggs skips it, left side Webster, entry pass, low left. Dawson Carper across the lane to a cutting Hemsley. Fouled on the floor by Jobe Alexander, who would have had a takeaway and nothing but hardwood in front of him, running down to the other end. If you have followed Cal Poly basketball over the last handful of years, moments like this, and I know this game is a long ways away from being over, but boy, it's just fun. It's a lot more fun than it's been lately. Webster, left corner 3, air ball. Caught by Jamal Smith. Arcing pass up the right side. Alexander from the wing to the lane to the rim with the left hand. He misses the layup. Hemsley the rebound. Hawaii's gone scoreless the last 4+ minutes. Buggs into the front court on the right baseline. Loses the ball. It's taken away by Jobe Alexander. He takes a left hand, a hip-high dribble into the front court. Jamal Smith, pull-up, right elbow jumper is short. Off the front of the orange iron. And Drew Buggs would clear it away for the Bows, who trail by 9, approaching 9 minutes left to play in the second half. Buggs sporting a white headband, picked up by Jobe Alexander. Dishes right side for Stansberry, who gets it to the right wing for Hemsley. Up top, Webster. Now to Buggs on the left wing. High lob, low left to Dawson Carper. backing in Tuka Yakala. His turnaround right-hand hook is rejected, and the loose ball grabbed along the baseline by Carper, who's out of bounds. Hawaii just can't seem to do anything right over the last 5 minutes. The loose balls are going Cal Poly's way. The shots are missing badly. And you can't help but feel like fatigue has really started to set in for this Hawaii team, which you knew would be a possibility coming off a tough loss at Santa Barbara and having a day less to prepare. Alexander down the right side of the lane to the rim with the left hand, high off the window and in. Cal Poly has taken a double-figure lead, 59-48. Drew Buggs across the midcourt stripe. Timeout, Hawaii. 8:33 left to play. Cal Poly 59, Hawaii 48. This is Mustangs basketball from Learfield IMG College. Third on Yakala. Hawaii's now turned it over 13 times. It comes in for Hemsley. He bobbles the ball and he loses it. This is comical. Jobe Alexander up the right side. A left-hand dribble inside the arc. He stops at the foul line. He loses the ball. It winds up in the ready hands of Harwell. Of course it does. And Alexander will reset with 15 to shoot. We're inside of 8 minutes. He stops on the right elbow, gets it to Yakala at the foul line. He hands off to Jamal Smith, a shot fake. He dribbles in to the rim with the right hand. He misses the putback two-hand jam for the flying Finn, Tuka Yakala. A 15-point lead for Cal Poly. 63-48, 7:30 left. Drew Buggs into the front court, terminates his dribble, skips it left side to Stansberry. Now they get it in low left. Carper's turnaround right-hand hook, and that finally ends the scoring drought. Carper's up to 14 points to lead Hawaii. The Cal Poly lead down to a baker's dozen, 63-50, 7:10 left. Jobe Alexander just inside the midcourt stripe, wraparound pass to the left side for Rogers, off of his fingertips out of bounds. Cal Poly's 11th turnover, taking us to a timeout on the floor. 7:07 left to play. Mustangs by a baker's dozen on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Cal Poly has outscored Hawaii 31-11 in the second half, and they lead by 13 with 7:07 left, 63-50. Carper's been way above his season average at the foul stripe this evening, and you wonder how much gas he has left in the tank. He's 6 of 8 at the foul stripe, just 37% coming into the game, and his first free throw's good. Keith Smith, Mark Crow take a seat. Jamal Smith, Malik Harwell back in. It is a 6-point game with 2:52 left to play. And Dawson Carper has one more free throw coming, a chance to cut it to 5. His second free throw in the air, and that's good. 20-point game for Dawson Carper. And Cal Poly, if they don't get a score here in Hawaii, gets a defensive rebound. The Bows, on the other end, could cut it to a one-possession game. 2:40 left. Here's Ballard at the center court logo. He veers to his right, puts the dribble behind his back. Now he moves to his left, down the lane. He lobs across the floor. Jamal Smith catches on the right wing, skips it low right. Tuka Yakulas back to the basket, working in on Carper. His turnaround right-hand hook misses everything. And it's Stansberry who grabs the loose ball, and Hawaii can get it down to a possession here with a made basket. Bugs out on the right side, skips it right baseline. Raimo is back to the basket. This is a mismatch. Backing down Malik Harwell. He dribbles into the paint. The turnaround right-hand hook off the window and in. And it is a 3-point game, 67-64 with 2:05 left. Jamal Smith through the center court logo. We've seen Cal Poly watch double-figure leads slip away late before. Certainly hoping that's not the case again here this evening. Jamal Smith out on the right wing, picked up by Justin Webster. The shot clock dives into single figures. He veers to his left, stops at the foul line. Now he starts again down the left side of the lane to the rim with the left hand. He misses the layup, and Raimo clears it away. Hawaii down by 15 here late in the second half. They can tie with the triple. Stansberry on the right elbow. Head-high pass to Bugs on the left wing. 90 seconds left. The Mustangs by 3. Bugs asking his teammates to clear out. Hawaii has another mismatch in low. We'll see if they find him. Raimo is being picked up by Ballard. Bugs asking everybody to clear away. He veers to his right, nearly slips and falls out of bounds, centers it to Webster. He puts the dribble in between his legs. 3 for the tie is good. And the officials will review that to make sure he got it off in time, but it certainly looked like he did. And for the time being, this game is tied. Cal Poly has let a 15-point second half lead slip away. But the officials will head to the scores monitor and confirm. And a problem here when you're 6-16 like Cal Poly is, and you haven't had much winning the past handful of seasons, sometimes holding on to these leads is much more tougher because you're not accustomed to situations like this. Wasn't necessarily a problem the other night against Long Beach State, but Hawaii, a team more accustomed to winning, they have come all the way back from a second half 15-point deficit to tie this game with 1:09 left. And it is a 19-4 run for the Rainbow Warriors over the last 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It was against Cal State Fullerton the other, well, it seems like the other night. It was over a week ago now where Cal Poly had a late double-figure lead, and the officials taking a long look at a very important sequence here. Justin Webster, a fadeaway contested 3 from straight on, and it counts after review, and this game is tied at 67 with 69 seconds left in regulation. And we told you how good Hawaii is in close games. They're 5-0 in games that have been decided by 5 points or less. Crowd a bit anxious in here. Hawaii has all of the momentum right now. Jamal Smith across the center court logo. Skips it to the left wing for Malik Harwell. He dribbles inside the arc, works to the right baseline with 15 to shoot. He takes Raimo underneath, dishes to Rogers, who bobbles the basketball, picked up by Bugs. He jabs, he puts up a jumper for the lead, and it's good. Go ahead 2 for Colby Rogers, just inside the right wing. It's a long 2 for the freshman, and with 46 seconds left, he puts Cal Poly up 69-67. And the officials, I don't know what they're reviewing. He was clearly inside the arc. Remember, it was Rogers who had a spectacular second half performance in what wound up being a career night on the island. He had 18 in that game, 15 in the second half, and almost single-handedly willed Cal Poly back from a 16-point deficit. And here he puts Cal Poly up 69 to 67, and I think this is just an issue with the clock again, which kind of gives both of these teams an opportunity to huddle together and draw something up. I think certainly in this situation it benefits Hawaii. Cal Poly got to pin their ears back and get a stop defensively here. They lead by 2 with 47 8/10 of a second left. Big West drama on a Saturday night on the Central Coast. Raimo triggers in, finds Bugs. He trots across the center court logo and dishes to the right wing for Raimo. Here's Stansbury, a head-high pass up top to Bugs. With 20 to shoot, he skips it. Raimo loses the ball, picked up by Harwell, who can't save it in bounds. Nearly another costly Hawaii turnover. And the shot clock will be at 17, 32.9 showing here in regulation. Cal Poly by 2. They have not won a game this year where they've been held under 70 points. They're at 69 right now. Bugs on the left baseline. Gets it into Carper, who plays it back to Bugs in the left corner. He takes a right-hand dribble into the paint, weaves around Yakala to the rim with the right hand. He lays it in. Shot clock is dark. The game is tied at 69, and Drew Bugs has 19 points. Cal Poly can hold for the final shot here. If not, we'd be headed to overtime inside the Mott Athletic Center for what would be the second time in Big West play. Timeout on the floor, 69 all. 27 8/10 of a second left on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. '69's on the board, 27 8/10 of a second left in San Luis Obispo. Cal Poly and Hawaii tied. Both teams have squandered double-figure leads. The inbound comes to Jamal Smith. He'll jog up the right side of the floor. Cal Poly's in the bonus. Hawaii must be careful here defensively as they try and brace for a potential overtime period. Jamal Smith methodically dribbling the basketball at the center court logo with 10 seconds left. Tuka Yakala, high to set a screen. Smith drifting to his left, down the lane to the rim with the right hand. He misses. Dawson Carper the rebound. Eddie Stansbury up the right side. Webster just inside the arc for the win. Wide right, and we will play 5 more minutes of basketball tonight in San Luis Obispo. Cal Poly and Hawaii tied at the end of regulation, 69-69. Overtime is next on the Cal Poly Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Well, for a second time here in Big West play, Cal Poly will head to overtime. Tied at 69 with Hawaii. Through regulation, Dawson Carper with 20 points and 10 rebounds. Drew Bugs, 19 points and 10 rebounds. Cal Poly had a 15-point lead with about 7 minutes left to play in the second half and could not hold on. Hawaii came roaring back down the stretch. And now we'll play 5 more minutes. Junior Ballard led the way for Cal Poly through regulation with 14, but rather quiet down the stretch. A 21-6 run for Hawaii to end regulation to force 5 more minutes tonight in San Luis Obispo. Carper and Yakala in the center circle. The ball is up, and the tap won by Cal Poly. Jamal Smith, Junior Ballard, Malik Harwell, Colby Rogers, and Tuka Yakala, the 5 on the floor. Harwell at the peak of the three-point arc, hands off to Junior Ballard, watched by Eddie Stansberry. He bounces to the peak of the three-point arc for Colby Rogers, requesting a screen from Yakala. He doesn't use it. He dribbles into the paint, pull-up jumper inside the foul line. It's short, and it ricochets to Justin Webster, who hit the big three to tie this game at 69, or rather tie it at 67, and then it was Bugs who tied it at 69 with under 30 seconds left. Bugs veering to his right, gets it to Stansberry. Head-high pass across the floor to Webster on the left wing. Entry pass, mid-post left side. Zigmars Raimo backing down Malik Harwell. This is a mismatch. He spins around him, turnaround right-hand hook off the front of the rim, and the defensive rebound snared by Harwell. Outlet pass up the left side, it comes to Ballard. One-on-one with Stanberry. He stops and starts down the lane to the rim with the right hand. Hits the deck, he's fouled, and Junior's gonna shoot a couple of free throws here with 4:05 left to play in the first overtime period. Ballard here this evening, 2 for 3 at the foul stripe. That's the 8th foul against Hawaii. They carry over here at the collegiate level from regulation to overtime. He bends his knees, flicks his right wrist, and gives Cal Poly a 1-point lead. The Mustangs, who have reached 70 points, are 6-2 this season when they've scored 70 or more. Ballard's second free throw, and Rudy missed it off the front of the rim. And every free throw, every bounce is so valuable here in overtime. The lead is 1 for Cal Poly. Bugs into the front court, dishes left side to Webster. And a foul away from the basketball is going to go against Malik Harwell of Cal Poly. That puts Hawaii in the double bonus, and Raimo shooting 2 free throws. It's the 3rd foul against Harwell, and Hawaii with a chance to grab a lead here. Raimo just 2 points in regulation, but he got both at the foul line. He's 2 for 2 on the season, coming in a 71% free throw shooter. Cherry red sneakers for the senior out of Latvia, and he misses the first of 2 free throws off the front of the rim. This is where you could really use the band. They're out of town, performing up in San Francisco as a part of a Chinese New Year festival. One more free throw for Raimo. He bends his knees, he flicks his right wrist, the free throw's in the air, and it ties the game at 70. 3:52 left to play in the overtime period, and Jamal Smith will run the show up the right side of the floor. He hands off to Colby Rogers. The Mustangs have been rather stagnant, and that's what led to their downfall in regulation, but a chance to recover here in overtime. Ballard inside the peak of the three-point arc, veering to his left. He's got it on the left baseline. Now he gets it to Rogers on the left wing with 10 to shoot. Around a high screen set by Yakala. Rogers, foul line, jumper en route. Off the back of the rim, the rebound tapped around, and Raimo's got it with 2 feet flat to the ground for Hawaii. 70s on the board, 3:20 left to play here in overtime. Stansberry up the right side. He moves to his right, puts the dribble in between his legs, and dishes up top to Bugs. Watched by Jamal Smith. The Bows are in the double bonus, 15 to shoot. Bugs dishes left side to Webster. Freshman on freshman. He's picked up by Rogers as the shot clock hits single figures. They find Carper at the foul line. He gets it to Bugs down the right side of the lane. He misses the shot. Raimo grabs the offensive rebound, and he's fouled on the floor by Colby Rogers. And again, Hawaii, just as they did in the first meeting, they are killing Cal Poly on the glass. They won that first rebounding battle by 12. They have out-rebounded Cal Poly 46-32 tonight. And Raimo has a chance to give them the lead with 3:01 left to play here in overtime. That foul against Colby Rogers is second. Raimo 3 of 4 at the foul stripe, just went 1 of 2 moments ago. And he drains the first of 2 here to give Hawaii the lead. Rogers to the bench in favor of Jobe Alexander. Cal Poly 1-0 in overtime this year. That dramatic victory a couple of weeks ago against Fullerton. This is Hawaii's first overtime game. They look dead and buried. You have to give them credit. They fought all the way back. Raimo's second free throw off the left side of the rim. Harwell grabs the rebound inside. Hawaii's lead is 1. We're inside of 3 minutes here in the overtime period. Jamal Smith holds up his left index finger as he crosses through the center court logo, veers to his right and hands off to Jobe Alexander. He angles to his left, picked up by Drew Buggs. Now Malik Harwell, the grad transfer from Boise State at the peak of the three-point arc, delivers a chest pass to the left wing for Alexander. Cal Poly looks stymied right now, 5 to shoot. Jobe steps back, left elbow jumper off the left side of the rim. And the rebound ricochets to Webster. Alexander is not the guy you want taking jump shots. That's not his best offensive skill. It's certainly getting to the rim, but he had to settle for it there with the shot clock winding down. Raimo down the right side of the lane to the rim with the right hand, rejected by Yakala. Loose ball grabbed by Harwell, a chance for Cal Poly to run. Harwell from the line to the lane to the cup with the right hand. He lays it in off the window. 2:05 left. Cal Poly goes up 1 here in OT. That's where you love the experience of a guy like Harwell. Had a few options running the floor there, but his best option was to take it to the rim for an easy 2. Webster out on the left wing with 15 to shoot. We're inside of 2 minutes in overtime. Jobe Alexander picks him up. Webster veers to his right, works down the lane, finds Raimo, who gets to the rim with the right hand and misses the shot, but he was fouled by Tuka Yakala. And that's his 4th. A great up fake on the right block with 7 to shoot. And it has been the Zigmars Raimo at the free throw line show here in overtime for Hawaii. And with the Bows down 1, Raimo has gone 2 for 4 here at the stripe in the first overtime period. He bends his knees. He flicks his right wrist. The free throw's in the air and it misses. He's missed 3 of them here in overtime. Why not keep hacking him if he keeps missing like this? Cal Poly's up 1, 1:41 left. Each team given a timeout. Neither has taken it just yet. One more free throw for Raimo. Slight bend of the knees, flick of the right wrist, and he ties the game at 72. A late substitution. Raimo off the floor here in favor of Justin Hemsley. Perhaps his inability to knock down the free throws, the reason for the change. And we've got 95 seconds left in the first overtime period, tied at 72. Harwell in the left wing, picked up by Hemsley. Gets it low left, Tuka Yakala. One-on-one with Carper. Out to Ballard up top with 15 to shoot. Yakala high to set a screen. Ballard, fadeaway, right elbow jumper for the lead. It's off the back of the rim. A fight for the rebound, and it's taken by Eddie Stansbury. 1:15 left. And Hawaii with a big stop, a chance to regain the lead. Buggs out on the left wing, picked up by Junior Ballard with 20 to shoot. He jabs and moves to his left. On the left baseline, he moves to his right. Finds Webster all alone, right wing 3 for the lead, got it. Webster's hit some big ones. And Hawaii is up 3 with under a minute left to play in overtime. Jobe Alexander across the midcourt stripe, across the floor to Jamal Smith, and John Smith takes a timeout. What a heartbreaker this would be for Cal Poly. They trailed by 13 in half number 1. Hawaii looked fatigued and down 15 with this place rocking in half number 2, and they just did not give up and have gone up 3 here with 51 and 9/10 of a second left. Does Cal Poly have another big bucket in them? Webster, the freshman, been impressive all year. He has worked into double figures, 11.7 rebounds. Next 2 on the road for Cal Poly. Be really tough to swallow this one if they can't come on back here. And I think, quite honestly, would be one of the tougher losses for the Mustangs this season. They've had some close games that haven't gone their way, but this one, when they were so locked in from the jump, trying to avenge that loss on the island a little more than 3 weeks ago, this one would be really tough. Cal Poly has the basketball out of the John Smith timeout. Certainly don't need a 3 here with 51 and 9/10 of a second left, but it certainly feels like they need a bucket. And where are they going to go? Ballard has seemed to be a bit hesitant down the stretch to take shots. It'll be Jamal Smith, Colby Rogers, Malik Harwell, Junior Ballard, and Tuka Yakala, 5 on the floor for Cal Poly. Helmsley, Buggs, Webster, Carper, and Stansbury. 5 out there for Aran Ganat, trying to split this Central Coast road trip. Jamal Smith will trigger in. He bounces into Malik Harwell on the right baseline. Is back to the basket. He holds at his belt buckle. Picked up by Helmsley. He finds Yakala at the foul line. Out to Jamal Smith. He dribbles inside the arc, down the lane, hesitates to the rim with the right hand. Off the window and in. Counted and a foul. And that's the 4th on Dawson Carper. Jamal Smith with a chance to tie this game. A free throw coming. Cal Poly down 1 and 41 6/10 of a second left. This could be a season-altering game for both teams. I'd say more so for Cal Poly here at home. Smith bends his knees, flicks his right wrist, missed the free throw. Offensive rebound for Yakala. Short corner right side. Up top it comes to Rogers. Under 40 seconds left. Jamal Smith calls a timeout. The Mustangs have 12 to shoot. Down 1. 32 8/10 of a second left. My apologies. Both teams are given 2 timeouts in the overtime period. Apparently, they had 1 on the scoreboard up here inside the Mott Athletic Center, and a big offensive rebound for Tuka Yakala, his 6th of the game. Certainly would have rather seen that free throw fall and take your chances defensively, but Cal Poly a chance to regain the lead, down 1 with the basketball, 12 to shoot, and the luxury of being able to draw something up here out of the John Smith timeout. When the bounces seemingly didn't go their way down the stretch of regulation, that one did, and can they capitalize here at home? Jamal Smith, right next to his father, will inbound the basketball with 12 to shoot, and 32 8/10 of a second left in the first overtime period with Hawaii up 1. He holds at his belt buckle, gets it in right side to Ballard. Picked up by Stansbury. Yakala high to set a screen. Ballard draws 2 defenders. Got to get out of it. Across the floor it comes to Rogers. Contested 3 for the lead. That's good! Big shot freshman. Colby Rogers puts Cal Poly up 2. Bugs into the front court. Timeout Hawaii. He's not afraid of the big moment. Colby Rogers drains a contested triple from the left wing, and the Mustangs go up 77-75 with 21.5 seconds left in the first overtime period. Rogers emphatically into double figures. He's got 10 points on his second made triple, and a sight all too familiar to Hawaii. He hit 4 on the island. He's 2 for 2 from back there tonight. And now, can Cal Poly come away with the defensive stop and what they hope is a defensive rebound and a chance to salt this thing away at the foul line? 21.5 seconds left. The freshmen on both sides. Webster for Hawaii. Rogers for Cal Poly, making the big-time shots down the stretch. Listen to the Mac. .5 seconds left. Webster will trigger in next to a standing, anxious Aran Ganat, who leans back on the scorer's table. The shot clock is dark. Cal Poly's up 2. The inbound comes left side to Raimo. He hands off to Webster. Now up top, it's Bugs with 15 seconds left on the right wing. Raimo hands off to Bugs. Here he comes down the right baseline. Offensive foul! He knocks over Jamal Smith with 11.6 left. Cal Poly's up 2 and they have the basketball. 9 team fouls against Hawaii. Next one puts Cal Poly in the double bonus. They got to get it in here. Well, Bugs, who has been penetrating and scoring, really helped lead the charge for Hawaii. Coming back from a 15-point second half deficit. Tried to tie the game there, but an obvious armbar as he knocked over Jamal Smith. Now Jamal to trigger in. He skips it to Ballard, who recovers along the end line, and he's either fouled or Hawaii was out of bounds touching the basketball. Aran Ganat wants the officials to take another look at it. I don't blame him. 10.4 showing here in the first overtime period, and Cal Poly hoping that they can hold on to this and we don't have to play even more basketball here. Ten and 4/10 of a second left. Here in overtime in San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly 77, Hawaii 75. And luckily here, the call on the floor is that Hawaii had touched the basketball last. And with all due respect, with the camera angles that the crew has here, it'd be very hard, unless it's absolutely obvious that Cal Poly had touched it last going out of bounds, it'd be very hard for the officials to reverse this call. Taking an extended look at it, and the call on the floor looks like it's going to stand. Cal Poly up 2 with the basketball. 10 and 4/10 of a second left. Malik Harwell's the best free throw shooter, and he's on the floor right now. Jamal Smith set to trigger in. Gets it to Kobe Rogers, the freshman, who's fouled immediately by Webster. And even though percentage-wise this might not be the guy who leads Cal Poly at the free throw stripe this year, I think seeing as what Rogers has done late in games lately for Cal Poly, you feel pretty good with him stepping to the stripe here, needing to knock down a couple. 8.7 left here in regulation. Cal Poly up 2, Rogers will shoot 2. He's 0 for 1 at the stripe tonight. He bends his knees, he flicks his right wrist, and he drains the first free throw. That was the big one. Still time for Hawaii to run down and get a quick bucket themselves, but the key will to be stay away from Hawaii. Don't let them shoot a 3 and maybe draw some contact, because they might look for that here. Rogers puts his right toe to the foul stripe. Second one, good. Oh, he's got ice in his veins. And a straight face as he heads to the bench in favor of Jobe Alexander. 79-75 Cal Poly. They have scored the last 7 points. Inbound to Buggs, up the right side. He arched the pass, right corner, Stansberry's 3. Air ball. Malik Harwell grabs it, and that will do it. Cal Poly, in overtime, takes down Hawaii tonight by a final of 79-75 inside the Mott Athletic Center. They have won 4 straight here inside the friendly confines. And they have moved to 4 and 5 in the Big West as they split the season series with the Rainbow Warriors in a thrilling finish tonight in San Luis Obispo, 79-75 over the visiting Rainbow Warriors. And we're going to try to get Kobe Rogers on the mic here. He is our Food Jets player of the game. Can you get me Kobe, Coach? Can you get me Kobe? Kobe. John Smith, so easy to work with. Happiest for him in games like this. Kobe Rogers, our Food Jets player of the game. You guys have a 15-point lead late in the second half. Hawaii mounts a big comeback. You guys trail by 3, wind up scoring the last 7 points of overtime. You scored the last 5 points. How big was this win for you guys?
This is very big. You know, we lost in Hawaii to a close one. We didn't even get a chance to really get a shot up at the end. So we knew coming out today that, you know, we had a chip on our shoulder and we were really coming for them.
You seem to have a flair for the dramatic. You had